the field. That black and yellow car is on the inside. Driver's right. Dixon is going to duck right in behind. Newgarden takes a look. Nothing there. Rossi trying to sweep around the outside.
3 wide behind him. You can go 2 by 2 here. Will Power trying to make moves like we saw at the beginning of Mid-Ohio. He manages to keep it going as they filter through turn 2. A little bit of contact in the back.
Up front, though, Scott McLaughlin in that yellow and white Penske car looking outside as they come to the brake zone of turn 3, and it looks like there's a damaged car. It might be Sato all the way back.
It is Sato side by side, 2 wide, some teammate action here. The Meyer-Shank car's nose to tail, but it is still Herta up front as Rossi defends against Scott McLaughlin. Is under pressure from Malukas.
McLaughlin got Malukas. McLaughlin picks up a spot. Callum Eilert has held off Marcus Ericsson for the moment.
What is damaged? What do we need to look at? We're done.
That might be the spotter for Takuma Sato. There's Roman Grosjean stuffing it in. Ray Hall and his teammate Harvey almost got together. There is opportunity everywhere, but it is treacherous on these opening laps. I think VK just got into the wall.
This is a very slippery part of the racetrack, the last 3 corners. That's a single groove side for sure. It's aggressive defending from Jack Harvey on, that's Simon Pagenaud there, who's made the move stick. Great action in the first couple laps here. Spotters, and here, wow, he's made it all the way around from turn 2, but that is that's a terminal failure, guys.
Just FYI, Takuma, that might be the end of the day. You might want to just pull that one off track. On board here with O'Ward in turn 1. There's the contact initially that pushed Sato wide.
And then 3 wide through turn 2. It was Palou on the inside of Pato O'Ward. We're on board with Palou now. You can see the glare beside him. Just no room for 3 cars there, certainly. And the caution flag, I believe, is waving, I imagine, for debris on the racetrack, because that was quite a bit of carbon fiber and metal coming off the left front.
Herta, Dixon, Newgarden, Rossi, that's the way they started. McLaughlin has picked up a spot. He's running in 5th. Then Malukas, Rosenquist, Eilert, Ericsson, and Lundgaard. Back to green in Toronto. Great restart by Colton Herta.
He's Alexander Rossi, maybe the closest one to have some threat into turn 1 as we see Felix Rosenquist on the inside of David Malukas, and he makes that stick.
Oh, the rookie Malukas, brilliant qualifying job, but they're chewing him up a little bit on forcing the issue in terms of getting by, but it looks like Malukas is going to have a go now. He's up in the seat, looking to the outside of turn 3.
And you can get done on the outside of turn 3, certainly, as the track comes back to the left after the corner for turn 4, but it looks like Felix is going to hold that position as Will Power side by side with Grosjean. He's up to 12th already, guys. Will Power is plus 4 spots already from where he qualified. Wow.
Once again, Will Power making moves. He tried to force it on Grosjean on the start, I think, in turn 1. They had some contact, but now it's settled in, and Power is going forward just like he did at Mid-Ohio to get on the podium.
Despite qualifying outside the top 15 4 straight times for the first time ever, he'd never had it happen to him 3 times. He's still 2nd in the championship, just 20 behind Marcus Ericsson.
Here's what I was talking about. Watch Power just send it up the inside here of Jack Harvey, and then he's going to clip Grosjean.
Just like Mid-Ohio, but he got away without the spin there. So close to collecting the wall on the inside. Man, he is dodging bullets left, right, and center this year.
The championship leader is in.
He is on pit road now. He'll get those primaries off of his car, and he will go with the, alternates off, primaries on for Alex Palou.
I think that's a great move for Palou. We call it the dumpster dive. It's jumping in there and looking for opportunity, taking a bit of a gamble. You can make it on one more stop, get off those reds, and hope that the pace really falls apart for everybody that stays out here.
And now a yellow saves him, right? At this point, anyone on the reds would take it if it comes out. He would cycle to the front. Basically, this is what they did in Mid-Ohio to great effect. Took them from 7th up to 2nd. Should have been 1st had that yellow not come out.
I'm surprised that we don't see more, maybe from Lundgaard on back. We should see guys start to jump in now and cover on that strategy. You don't want to get unlucky if you get lucky with a yellow by pitting early.
Now that he's done it, I bet we're going to see other drivers start to take it even on this lap.
So far, nobody in.
Well, I'm with you, Townsend. These guys have taken a big swing at it. It's great. He's got clean track, clear air.
And this could be the yellow. Grosjean looking to come back on Will Power. Will Power looked like he pill away, but Grosjean has a great run coming out of turn 2 if he can stay in the draft and pop out on the brakes.
A lot of push to pass being used by both these guys already.
Here it comes. Send it, send it.
To the inside, Grosjean has got a nose ahead. He's got it done. Grosjean and Power now is going to have to try to be able to fend off Rahal behind him.
It's tough into turn 5, especially on those primary tires. Graham thinks better of it, stays in lockstep, but a great move from Grosjean on the inside of Will Power there.
Terrific move and terrific car control on the brakes on the dirty side of the racetrack. Grosjean clearly dealing with great balance and a lot of confidence right now. His very first time on the streets of Toronto. Here comes some divers.
Let's look again at Grosjean going to the inside.
And Will Power's already burned 161 of his 200 seconds of push to pass defending. Both drivers all over the button right here. He just didn't cover it quite enough. Grosjean was definitely within striking distance. It's really just not quite gone Jack Harvey's way this weekend. We talked at the top of the show about how this team, after a test at Sebring, really found something for their street course car, Townsend, as we see some debris offline here on the racetrack. Looks like a rag or something. But yeah, Jack Harvey didn't have the same sort of pace in qualifying as Christian Lundgaard. Look at that.
That looks like Dylan's hoodie from last night at dinner.
Marcus Ericsson, Dylan, is in.
He is, and they'll make a tire change as well. Black tires going on for him. Big emphasis on the tire changers in these early stops to make sure they get it done right because they don't need a full load of fuel. Grosjean in and out as well. He put blacks on.
I think at this point, everyone's breathing a sigh of relief that there are green flag stops, Hinch. This would be treacherous if everyone came on pit road together during a yellow.
Looking for any blend battle here. Here comes DiFrancesco and Will Power. Grosjean on cold tires in turn 1. There should be some action going to 3 on the backstretch.
Will Power on hot tires. He pit a few laps ago. Devlin DiFrancesco fresh out of the pit lane. You're going to see Will Power on the overtake button now, trying to capitalize on those cold tires on Dev's car.
Grosjean gave a speech about how teammates should respect each other. See what he does here.
Good job by Devlin on the brakes there on cold tires, keeping Will Power behind him right now, but it's going to be tight going into turn 5.
DiFrancesco might want to pick it up because Will Power is charging and going to take a look inside of 5.
Man, that's a risky move.
He backed out of it. DiFrancesco, one of the 7 that have never raced here before in IndyCar. Even the fact that this is his hometown track. He's from Toronto, and he had his best qualifying performance in his rookie IndyCar season of 12th.
Now, this is not what Will Power wants to see right now on this strategy. He wanted as much clean racetrack as he possibly could, and it's not quite working out with these Andretti Autosport cars in front of him, Dylan.
A couple more pit stops. Joseph Newgarden was in, and Alexander Rossi, both back-to-back on pit road. Both of them took the reds off, put the black tires on. We'll see where they blend.
So those are the first 2 of the front runners to come in.
Oh, side by side with David Malukas and Joseph Newgarden in turn 3 there.
Man, if I'm Colton Herta here, Dixon, I'm watching this from the pit stand saying, come to the pit box now. You cannot afford a yellow to come out right now.
Yeah, you're comfortably within the window. You're not going to have to save much fuel, Dave, if you come in now. And here's Scott Dixon.
Yep, he will give up the position, put on the primaries as well, started on the reds. And so for Dixon, a nice run to P2 in qualifying. Wasn't particularly happy that he didn't get pole because he was awful close.
Christian Lundgaard, you see him at the top of your screen carrying the torch so far for Rahal Letterman Landing and Racing. Service complete. He'll head back out.
And guys, David Malukas is hounding a 2-time IndyCar champion driving a Penske car right now. Look at this awesome race battling on between the 2 and the 18.
The 20-year-old from Chicago, David Malukas with Dale Coyne Racing and HMD, his family's trucking company, continues to impress. Hey, there are potential job openings at big teams next year, and a lot of people are talking about guys like David Malukas and Callum Ilott.
Comes Marcus Ericsson making a move there on Dalton Kellett. But yeah, Malukas, he passed the test on the reds. There's Colton Herta. That should be a sigh of relief for the 26 boys. Dave, Colton Herta, the pole sitter on pit lane.
Colton Herta was asked no changes or no changes, and he said no changes. There's the code, so this will be, I have no idea. But the primaries are going on. The Firestone Reds are coming off right in front of him. Scott McLaughlin pits as well. Strong run for him this weekend. Did well in qualifying, better than he thought, and doing great in the race.
And that is bad luck for Colton Herta, having the car in front of you come in and pit. You saw how slow he was getting away. That's definitely costing him time as Scott Dixon capitalizes on the cold tires down into turn 1.
Dixon on hot tires, as you said, James, and this is where Colton has to settle in. Don't try to do something too big, too bold, and make the mistakes that we saw at Nashville and Long Beach. Here they come to 3.
And then right behind him, Newgarden is trying to get through Kyle Kirkwood. That's moving his way essentially through traffic. Kirkwood is off strategy.
He came in under that yellow, so he's going to go a bit longer. David Malukas followed him through there in turn 5. Decisive move from David Malukas, who also right now, guys, has the fastest lap of the race so far. Just see, you can see how the car's so loose through that concrete patch there, just sliding all over. This track is just so difficult. Side by side, Alexander Rossi and David Malukas. Rossi gets the position.
That is Rossi going forward. So that's the battle for 4th again on the leader strategy right now with Ray Hall, VK O'Ward yet to pit.
Jimmy Johnson has cycled up to 4th. He has yet to pit. Connor Daly right behind him is one of those that ducked in on lap number 3, but Daly has done the best of those, being able to maybe make something out of it.
Guys, a couple drivers have been very trigger happy with their push to pass as Callum Ilott goes to the inside.
Callum Ilott has wing damage. The left front wing for Callum Ilott is broken and dragging on the racetrack. Despite that, he is still making moves forward.
Hey guys, we saw PT lose half of his front wing one year here at Toronto and pull away at the front of the field. So that doesn't always mean something. Kellett slow, and looks like Grosjean going around him.
You see the wing damage there from Callum Ilott.
Sorry, Townsend, they've had some fuel pump issues this weekend in the 4 car. Dylan.
It's interesting talking with Callum as you see the damage, or we talk about the damage there. He told me this morning, he said, I just got to take what I can get from this car, not force anything. I learned my lesson at Barber when we were so strong over in the weekend. As you see a lock up there, that's not what he needs either.
I wonder if that wing damage contributed, Townsend, but he's done the best job of that pirouette from all the people we've seen in that runoff through practice.
Such a great example, though, the sensitivity of downforce. You have front wing damage, you get to the brake zone. You don't have as much as downforce on the front axle. Your brake bias is then off for what you need. That's how Callum Ilott locked up. Meanwhile, Graham Rahal sucked up that hoodie again on the back straightaway. By the end of this thing, that hoodie's going to do a full lap at Toronto. You're going to have to put him on the stats.
So Graham Rahal is one of those playing the long game on this first stint. That potentially opens up some options for him a little later. That means a red tire run towards the end won't need to be as long. Rinus VeeKay is in, Dylan.
And they were one of the 6 cars that started on black, so he'll go to the sticker red tires here. Another front wing change to compensate for that, and we'll see how many spots or how much time VeeKay can make up on the softer tires.
Look at that train.
Is still out there.
That train of cars, guys. This thing is not spread out at all. This group is all running competitive lap times. Will Power's going to clear VeeKay easily into one here.
Here comes Castro Neves behind VeeKay. Smoke for Dalton Kellett. Chevy-powered car. They've struggled with a few issues so far this weekend. Had fuel delivery problems. You can hear it sputtering now. Hopefully not oil on the racetrack.
Slow, no throttle, slow, no throttle.
Look at
coaster back here, buddy. Keep it down low. Stay offline, please.
Smart move from the 5 crew to get Pato O'Ward into the pit lane, Dave.
And by rule, as you guys know, one set of Firestone Reds that are fresh, not scuffed, have to be used during the race. So he will get the primaries off that he started on. He'll put those Reds on now, and Pato will continue on. Been a frustrating weekend for him. He was out-qualified by 7 positions by Felix Rosenqvist. Just didn't have speed in the car, he kept saying. Hopefully he's found some more this afternoon.
Good stop from the McLaren crew. Always been good in pit lane. A little over 7 seconds. He slots in behind Grosjean.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really gained there so far. Pato O'Ward started 15th, Grosjean in 15th. So he goes pretty far back, does O'Ward. And one of the reasons that a yellow gets more and more likely is because frustration grows. If you're not having a great day like Pato O'Ward, he's like, man, we were at the front, we stayed out, but I'm still 15th. He's got to make something happen now. The chances that people take get bigger and bigger. O'Ward sending it inside of Grosjean.
My God, we saw him make a late move on Rinus VeeKay. That was just as late, if not later, on Romain Grosjean. Went sailing by him.
The other thing that happens, James, every lap, the marble's bigger and bigger. So when you go too wide, the risk you're taking of getting onto a dirty part of the racetrack and running out of road into the wall continues to increase as well.
Grosjean, a little Rubbins racing with Rinus VeeKay there, side by side, tire smoke coming off. Very common to see that through turn 3 and 4, Townsend.
Yeah, it gave him a little bit of a fade in the brake zone of turn 3 and only seems to be stoking the fire for Rinus VeeKay. See Grosjean looking in his mirror there pretty clearly, trying to judge where VK's car is, give him maybe just enough room, but now VK trying to push his way through. No damage that appears to hurt the pace of those two, but this battle far from over.
I'm not a racing driver or qualified to judge anything, but that's going to be added to that mixed tape at the end of the year of all the side-by-side contact for the 28.
Here it comes.
And VK coming back and getting the spot. Is Grosjean wounded a little bit? That's
a great move from Rinus VK. That's such a tough corner to pull a pass off, guys. You come through that kink in turn 7.
Move, great move.
Exactly right. Then you have to jut to the right-hand side. It's so bumpy, so many different surfaces from turn in to exit at turn 8, more than any other corner. Big, big challenge here.
Now check this out. Rinus VK on the softer red tires, running the shorter middle stint here, just has way more grip and really kind of surprises Grosjean. Grosjean, we know, is struggling, and that's a brake zone that's hard enough when you're by yourself.
Number 19
to look pretty sloppy here. Could be an
famous for
opportunity
that.
to shoot soon.
So there you go. There's the call for Felix Rosenqvist from Billy Vincent on his stand saying Rossi is looking sloppy. Could be an opportunity here. We're already past the midway point, and the window to pit for the final time comes up at about 5 laps. And Rosenqvist to the inside. They're going to make contact, and Rossi is into the wall. Rosenqvist is through. Rossi is out.
He just hit me out.
At Mid-Ohio, it was Grosjean and Rossi with the roles reversed. Now Rossi finds himself trying to hang on the outside, and he just got shoved off.
And these are future teammates potentially next year. Rossi's going to McLaren. Rosenqvist is staying at McLaren. We don't know what series, though.
So here it is. It was a late move. He got there, but you know, Alex gave him the room. They touch here. Felix over, and you see immediately the wheel just turns hard left. Definitely was knocked out of Alex's hand.
Everybody laid out here, so.
This is what you talked about, Townsend. These yellow flag stops are going to be absolute chaos in the tightest pit lane, the shortest pit lane that we have in IndyCar.
It is so tight, it is so pressure-packed, Kevin, and there is so much opportunity for greatness or disaster, all packed into the tightest pit lane on our schedule.
And just like that, the big advantage that Dixon and Herta had is gone. Newgarden is right back in the mix. Rosenqvist, the cause of the yellow or involved in it, is a player.
The benefit for Newgarden saving fuel is he might not have to put as much fuel in.
Scott Dixon locked up and skidded through the pit lane entry. Looked a lot like Indianapolis earlier, so Dixon looking for every advantage. Here's Newgarden, tight, Dylan.
And he'll have Marcus Ericsson across his nose. Sticker blacks going on for Newgarden. We'll see how long the fuel save is. Dave.
Sticker blacks for Dixon as well. Hit his marks perfectly after that little skid in, and most everybody up pit lane said, will come if the leaders come. The leader did, and he's going to lead off of pit lane as well.
The race off pit lane right there between McLaughlin and Rosenqvist, and I think maybe Rosenqvist got him, but Dixon got out first.
Disaster for Newgarden. Look at how many spots he lost. Dylan.
Something on the right rear. It looked like they were trying to rock the car. I wasn't sure if they could get the right rear on or what the issue was, but yeah, definitely a problem there for Newgarden.
It's been a tough weekend. We'll be watching the right rear. How about the left front changer? There's an issue with the gun. Oh, I can see him. What's he doing there?
On the left rear.
Why was the right rear changer rocking the car?
Bizarre. Oh, 3 wide. That's such a tight pit lane. Devlin DiFrancesco sneaking out ahead of his teammate Roman Grosjean. But here's Felix Rosenqvist. Oh, no, sorry, Pato O'Ward. Side by side. Will Power getting forced out by David Malukas. It's supposed to be one car through there. Be interesting to see how that one gets settled. Oh, man, Malukas did a good job getting out of it and allowing, I think that was Lundgaard.
Excellent bit of driving by all 5 of these drivers.
That's Pelot there.
Let's take a look at Newgarden. Is the fuel having trouble getting plugged in and they're trying to push the car over?
Yes, he's too far out. Look here, you can see right here how far away he is from that arrow. He stopped almost a foot, I'd say. They couldn't get the fuel hose in all the way. They were trying to make sure it was connected fully. Great call.
We're ready to go racing again. So VK and Daly stayed out. Dixon, Herta, Rosenqvist, McLaughlin, the effective leaders. There's no way the front 2 make it to the end.
And this has been a quick yellow. I don't think they've had time to sweep the track. So with 2 cars a little slower, you got Dixon and Herta will be coming. This should be a little crazy in a couple laps.
So really, third on back is what we're watching. Dixon defending on Herta. Rosenqvist, McLaughlin in that yellow XBEL car this weekend right behind.
Yellows breed yellows often, James, in IndyCar racing, no more so than a place like Toronto as Newgarden got wide and on the marbles. Here comes Malukas looking on O'Ward.
The marbles were so bad, Joseph had to get out of it, going onto the back straight. And look at him getting swallowed up now. We see O'Ward there, Malukas there, side by side.
Ericsson and Pelot together. Remember, they came together on Road America, and that wasn't very pleasant.
Dylan DiFrancesco had to hit the brakes there to avoid getting into the wall. David Malukas squeezed him. Will Power taking advantage, driving him all the way to the outside.
There's the slide job and the shove job, and that was a shove. Power filling it.
Bit between his teeth. He is absolutely going for it. Dev lost another place there to, I believe, Castro Neves, now defending against Callum Ilott. Jimmy Johnson looking on the inside of Kyle Kirkwood. And Romain Grosjean side by side with Jack Harvey. Grosjean had to serve a penalty for a pit lane speed violation.
So now if you're Grosjean, you're all the way at the back. You're like, I got nothing to lose.
Colton Herta now.
Oh, he's right there.
2.5 second gap before that yellow. A couple tenths of a second now, right on the gearbox of the 9.
And Colton Herta must be thinking, Dixon's still building temperature and pressure, and I need to get Dixon early, not late in the stint. Dixon had the advantage later in the stint. I think Colton Herta's wide-eyed right now thinking, this is my chance for the win.
I'm talking about advantage. When you look at the push-to-pass numbers, it is in Colton Herta's favor. 23 seconds to the good over Scott Dixon. 103 for Scott. Now down to 106 for Herta and 97 for Scott. Both of these guys on it. A little bit loose over the concrete there out of 1.
And Hinch, they told him you go to a fuel save mode if you cannot get him. Otherwise, go get him.
Yeah, he's thinking, go get him right now. That Christmas tree of push-to-pass lit up on Colton Herta's wheel. Where does he go? Outside.
At this point in the stint, Scott's tires are still so good. Both drivers are going to have great braking potential, but he's trying right now on the button into 5. You thought about it.
That's Connor Daly, I believe, just in front of Dixon.
Through this long turn 6, this long right-hander, when you're that close to a car, the understeer is savage. So hard to follow this close through this section of the racetrack.
They stopped under yellow on 47, went green on 48. We know they can go 35 laps to the end. There's likely going to be some fuel save needed to get to the finish.
Yellow's out.
We don't see any cars not moving on track. There might be some debris somewhere. We're waiting for word from race control. It is debris. It's concrete, guys.
Wow.
It's the track surface breaking up.
Cobblestone.
There's some debris, though. Look for some chunks of debris in turn 1. There's big chunks of concrete down there. Green.
So watch that PNC Bank car behind, trying to hold off that yellow and black car of Colton Herta. Rosenquist is not too far behind Herta. Then it's McLaughlin. Great look on the Geico aerial.
I think that was Christian Lundgaard, the blue and white car, getting wide. That checks everybody up, including Will Power, Callum Ilott there, DiFrancesco.
Maybe gives Pato O'Ward an opportunity to make a move there. It doesn't look like it cleared him. Oh,
Pelot around the outside with his teammate. Ericsson and Pelot might have bumped. Still trying to squeeze through. Ericsson maintains the position.
Don't forget Road America, what happened between these two.
Almost turned him.
Contact there, got the 8 very loose. Managed to hang on to it, keep it off the wall. Pato O'Ward going slow. Damage there.
I don't know if it's damage or if he just got pushed wide and onto the marbles.
Oh man, it's wiggling.
Malukas got through for that spot in that black and white car. That's in 12th.
Grosjean trying the outside again, and once again coming up a bit short.
Kirkwood and Jimmy Johnson together, and they aren't going to make it through.
Jimmy turned down on me.
Let's see what happened.
And this all sort of starts from Romain Grosjean attempting to go around the outside of Connor Daly in turn 8. Has to check up on board with Jimmy Johnson here. He's looking ahead at Grosjean. Probably not looking into his mirror to think that Kirkwood could be trying to make a move there.
But Jimmy was looking to the outside of Grosjean and then backed out, and I think Kirkwood saw an opportunity to follow Grosjean, and that's what led to the contact there. And this is what happened between teammates, sort of.
For
Ericsson,
now.
and these roles were reversed at Road America, where Pelot got hit by Marcus Ericsson.
See a little bit of contact. Again, that to me is very reminiscent of what we saw between the 7 and the 27. There just wasn't that wheel-to-wheel contact. Very late on the brakes for Pelot. Ericsson a bit checked up on the inside there. They kind of lean onto each other. Pelot gets out of it to avoid the inside of turn 4 and then throws it down the inside of 5. Doesn't quite get there. Touches the left rear of the 8.
It might come down to this. There may not be another chance at a restart. How aggressive will Herta get? Rosenquist, McLaughlin, Rahal, Pagenaud, Ericsson, the championship leader in the red and white car. Behind him, back to green in Toronto. Good jump for Scott Dixon, and then side by side, Rahal going for a spot on McLaughlin, and I think he's got him.
Side by side through turn 2. Scott's going to have to yield, and he's out in the marbles. That's letting other cars go by. Ericsson's through, Pagenaud's through. Scott McLaughlin losing a lot of positions now. Palou through as well.
Masterful job from Graham Rahal. McLaughlin with no previous experience at Toronto. Rahal showed the advantage there.
David Malukas running around the outside of Pato O'Ward. And now Marcus Ericsson looking down the inside of Simon Pagenaud in turn 5. He's going to make it stick.
And Palou, contact there with Palou's front wing to the back end of Pagenaud.
Guys, this is a championship drive for Marcus Ericsson right now. He's kept it cool, he's kept it calm and controlled. No mistakes, no issues. As Palou looks to the inside of turn 8, it's going to be a tough one.
Oh, Palou, get out of my way.
I think Pagenaud might have backed out enough to save him there. That was tight.
That was very close with Graham Rahal and Simon Pagenaud into turn 9. We saw that not work with Kyle Kirkwood and Jimmy Johnson before this restart. Now Kyle Kirkwood and Jimmy Johnson. Now Joseph Newgarden on the push to pass. Sorry.
Well, Newgarden's trying to make his way back through, and there's Pato O'Ward going to the inside of Malukas, and VK is going to try to follow him.
Rinus VK seemingly out of this thing, now fighting for a chance to get into the top 12.
And let's watch Graham Rahal.
This is on the restart. We see a little bit of a defensive move there from McLaughlin. A lot of respect here. He had to catch it going sideways, but side by side.
So it's about 62 seconds to do a lap around here. Rosenquist has 83 seconds left.
But he's not been using as much as I thought.
Weird.
He's had in the 80s for the last 3 laps.
Meanwhile, we're seeing the white flag for Scott Dixon, who has not won in his last 23 races. In that span, he's had 4 podiums since that last win at Texas. First half of a doubleheader in the spring of 21.
He's got a great run coming here, but Colton has enough seconds to defend. He's doing the dragon a little bit down the back straightaway, Herta is.
Breaking that draft, the Swedish snake all over the push to pass. He's too far back here. He's going to have one more shot at it probably into turn 8, but we talked about how tricky that is on old tires especially.
Herta trying to hang on to survive and finish second. Dixon up front with a few more corners to go.
Dixon's just cruising. He knows these two are going at it tooth and nail, and this is it. The last opportunity for Felix. He's not going to get it done, and this guy, Scott Dixon, is going to take it.
4 wins at Toronto, but more significantly, history made. Win number 52. Scott Dixon has tied Mario Andretti for the second most wins in IndyCar history. Dixon has done it at Toronto.
Done it, and in dominating fashion, guys. When we saw the pace he had in qualifying, the confidence I think he had after that session, he knew he had a strong race car, and they just did exactly what they do, played the pit cycle perfectly, controlled it from there.
And with all the controversy with Chip Ganassi Racing and Alex Palou this week, Chip Ganassi, his ultimate loyalty is to winning, and he did it today with his most experienced driver, the master, Scott Dixon.
And only A.J. Foyt has won more IndyCar races than Scott Dixon.
Wow, what a day. Mike Hull, strategist, getting the hug there. Because the strategy, I'll just start on that simple point, got you the lead early.
It did. You know, we struggled a little bit actually on rears. We made some adjustments after this morning in some of the, the different tracks that we'd been to throughout the year. Where we had fought with understeer, and that definitely wasn't the case today. So it was a tough drive, man. I was like this the whole race. So I don't know, ended a streak there, which is fantastic. Just so happy for the team. It's been a crazy year for the 9. I still feel extremely bad for all our partners and everybody involved for the 500. And again, I'm glad that Marcus was able to win it for our team, because the team definitely deserved it. But the PNC Bank number 9 back in winner's circle, man, it just feels so good. Massive thank you to Honda. To get that fuel mileage today was so easy.
You talked to us about it before, but how do these words ring? You have as many IndyCar wins as Mario Andretti.
It's amazing, honestly, to be close to Mario. Every time I'm asked these questions, I'm just so thankful that we still have AJ and him in the pits. We get to see them, we get to talk to them. It's just fantastic. Well done.
The drought is over. Scott Dixon is in victory lane for the first time in 2022.
Watch the HyveeDeals.com 250 Saturday, July 23rd at 4 p.m. on NBC.